Welcome back to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show. Tonight we're actually out here doing some shooting. The boys have youth season coming up here. Iowa opens this weekend, so we're super excited about that. Going to get some reps in and keep practicing so they feel comfortable when that deer finally steps out this weekend. But for this week's show, it's a pretty exciting one. We're actually going to start it off with Emerson Ries. He's got a pretty cool surprise for you guys. And then Jeff Deets, Brooks Kehoe, and Thad Demoss and his son, they have some updates for you as well to go along with their hit list. And then we've got kind of an unfortunate update from Mersberger. As you guys know, deer hunting's full of highs and lows, and I guess you guys are just gonna have to check that out to see what happens with him and the deer that he's been watching this summer. But it should be an exciting show. I hope you guys enjoy it, but we're gonna go ahead and get shooting, and we'll catch up with you guys afterwards.
Hey guys, how's it going? As you guys could see on last week's episode, we did a little update on the home farm and all the projects that we did. The big deer haven't really showed up at the home farm yet this year, which really isn't anything different than any other year. So still super optimistic that some big deer are gonna show up there. I do also have a permission farm that I can hunt and have been getting pictures of a really big deer, and I am super excited to bring this deer to you guys today. Aaron and I are actually gonna get a couple muddy stands put together basically just for this deer. So stick around, and can't wait to show you guys this deer. All right guys, we just got out here to this permission farm. Just got a few things unloaded. First thing we're gonna do is get one of these cutting back tracks put up, and then I'm gonna be putting up a muddy tree stand not too far from that, and then we're gonna go a little deeper into the timber and put up another stand and find another spot for a camera. Like I said, we're trying to hone in on this big deer I started getting pictures of here. So let's get after it. That's our straightest tree with the most cover, so I think we go get the sticks and the stand and try throwing her in it. Let's do her. Come on, Duke. Well guys, we finally got this first muddy hung. Took us a little bit to find the right tree. This kind of pinches down here between the neighbors, and then it opens up out into alfalfa and beans this year. And I really wanted to be able to shoot this edge as much as I could. Like I said, we're trying to hone in on that big deer that we've been getting pictures of here. And I think having this stand here early is gonna be really beneficial. So I'm gonna climb down from here, and we're gonna put some boots on the ground and go find another spot to put another stand and another camera to see what we can do to find this deer a little better. So I'm gonna get down from here and we're gonna go find a new spot. Almost be nice to be right in between these two big trails. This ain't gonna work because I can't reach that. All right, guys, we finally got everything done for the most part here on this permission farm. We got 2 more cutting backs set up and 2 more tree stands, basically for this deer. I know I've been talking a lot about this deer. Probably one of the bigger deer I've had to hunt here in the last few years anyway. His name's gonna be Goodyear. The way we came up with that name is was sending pictures back and forth to some of the guys, and the first daylight picture I got of him, there's a big tire in the background on one of the fence posts that marks the border of the property. So one of the guys, Zach Rosmus, said, hey, what about Michelin or Goodyear? And ended up going with Goodyear. He's just a really nice mainframe 10-pointer. He's got split brow and also has a kicker off of his 1G2. Really excited to try to get on this deer. Like I said, one of the bigger deer I've had the opportunity to hunt here in the last few years. So hopefully the 2 more cameras and those 2 muddies help us kind of hone in on what this deer's doing. Like I said, hopefully early October, maybe there'll be a cold front and can get in here on him early. If not, try to keep him around and get after him during the rut. But gonna be a fun chase for this deer. Goodyear, hopefully you keep showing up. We'll be after you here in less than a month.
Well, welcome back to Midwest Whitetail's Heartland Show. It's August 31st and just kind of wrapping up a few last minute things. Kicking off tonight here on the west side of my farm where I actually ended my season last year, killing a buck that I call Cougar. And I was gonna try and get in and maybe do a little bit of velvet filming tonight, doing a few last minute camera preparations, checking a couple tree stands, things like that. We're about a month out from the season, so just not doing anything too heavy, but just going through those last minute things. And I'm gonna end up actually getting in a tree here in a little bit, setting kind of more in the center of the farm. And we'll talk a little bit more once we get into the blind, into the stand, go through my hit list, talk about a few other things. But for now, just checking out a few plots and hopefully be bringing some action here shortly.
First, being a little quiet because we're setting up in the tree now. Just in what I call the inside corner or west side of the Y field. Just wanted to get up into a tree tonight just for the heck of it. But as far as a hit list of bucks, I'm going to run through a few different ones. Probably my top target this year is going to be a buck that I call Outpost. He's a really cool deer, spent a lot of time on the west side last year. And actually earlier this spring, Rye, Ludwig, and Zach Rosmus were here on the farm with me and we picked up his sheds. So pretty cool to see what he's maturing into, and just a really neat wide buck. He's right up at the top. Another deer that I'm really excited to see this year is a deer that's called Dagger. Last year he actually broke off his one side and then ended up breaking off basically his main beam right at the base. So he ended up kind of like a unicorn looking buck. Just I think he's a real bruiser, just a mean buck that I think was going around trashing some deer. And I even have a theory that he may have killed a deer that I call Francium. That I know they had a fight last year around October 23rd, and I never got a picture of Francium again. So so that's Dagger. And then I got a big 8-pointer that I call Squirt, just because he's a little squirt. But he's one that I'm really looking forward to this year. Filmed him a couple times last year, and there's another buck too that I just really don't have a name for yet. He's kind of got a silver look to him, so maybe he'll be the Silver Bullet or Coors or something cool like that. We'll see what we come up with on him, but we'll see what happens. Final preparations are underway. We're a month away from season, and the next time we're in a tree, we're gonna have the bow with us. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Welcome back to another year of Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show. Right now I'm standing on what is my first farm ever. I closed on this farm back in December, so I hit it hard shed hunting. I found some great sheds, one off a buck I call Skyscraper. Last year he was a 3.5-year-old, great frame, looked like a deer that could really blow up, and this year he did. He's got long brows, long twos, long threes, just a heck of a deer. And I found a shed about 40 yards from here, and he was one heck of a deer last year, and he really blew up this year. The second buck is a buck I call BG2 for bent G2. Last year his G2 bent straight to the right, kind of looked like a flyer, but it was just a tine bent right over. And he showed back up this year, heck of a deer, long main beams, great frame, big 6x5, so he'll definitely be another one on the hit list to chase. The name of the game on this farm was to get food on it. Today is September 10th, and I just got all the food plots in. I've been waiting for over a month to spread the seed, spread the fertilizer, and get these plots in, but we just haven't had any rain, and I wasn't gonna plant the food plots and just have them all die and not germinate. Tonight they're calling for a 1/2 inch to an inch, so I'm super excited to see if these food plots will even turn out. But I got some monster buck clover in there, monster buck brassicas, some other mixtures of turnips and radishes, and then obviously, since it's late in the game here, I got winter wheat and winter rye in every plot. That stuff will germinate on cement, so I knew if I at least got that in there, there would be some food for deer come this fall. But super excited to hunt my own farm for the first time ever, and we'll just see where the year goes. It should be super fun, and next time you see me, you're actually gonna see me out hunting on an urban piece. Yesterday I went out there, put up a couple of old cameras I had, rode around on the Kaufman e-bike, checking things out. And now coming into this year, I was lucky enough to draw a buck tag in the lottery. So I'm super excited. That's about 10 minutes from my house, super quick to get there. And it's an awesome piece. As you can see, there were a ton of great deer there last year. And most of them, I think, made it through. So I'm super excited to have that piece also. Dad and Ty are gonna be hunting like always, and I'll be trying to film them as much as I can back at my parents' farm. It should be an awesome year out there for them too. A lot of good things. My dad's been doing this year, getting a ton of food plots in. We logged it last year. It's getting thicker and thicker by the minute, it seems. So we're super excited about what deer are going to be there this year, and overall, it's shaping up to be an excellent fall. So next time you see me, I'm going to be in a tree stand hunting that urban zone, and we're going to kick off the 2023 season.
That tree right there wouldn't be a bad place for it. Well, welcome to Midwest Whitetail. It's been super hot for the last week and a half here, and we finally got a really nice day today to get out and do some things we need to do before the season starts. Jack and I decided to come out today and check some of our stands that's been up, that we left up last year, just check the straps, loosen them up and retighten them, that sort of thing. Anyway, we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna climb up and check some things out, just make sure that everything's in safe order for when the season does come in. So where the heck they go from here?
Well, we just got finished up here putting that tree stand up. And from our original plan, we actually moved about 50 yards down this creek bed. And the reason why, we have a better angle from both the field and the creek bed where they walk. And there's also about 4 intersecting trails right behind me here. So we're pretty excited to get in that stand come October 1st, and hopefully we'll get a mature buck rolling through here come November too. So.
Well, it's August the 13th. Yesterday, a month from yesterday, I had surgery, and I'm supposed to take it easy for the next 6 weeks, but we picked up a new lease, so we're getting things done. I'm really excited about this spot. We set up cutty links about a couple weeks ago, and we've had some really nice bucks on camera and a lot of bucks. So there's a lot of woods up in these bluffs, and so I can expect some real monster bucks, I think, to come through the area this year. So we got 3 on our hit list so far that we'll be going after on opening day. So if they continue to do what they're doing, we should have a pretty good chance at them. But last 2 days we set stands and clearing out shooting lanes, and we're pretty much done. So we probably won't come back here until September 16th. That's the opener. So we'll see you up in the tree. Well, it's September 3rd, and this is not the way I wanted to be sitting behind this buck. About a month ago, we got this lease, and he was by far the biggest buck we had on camera. And as the weeks went on, we could tell he was losing weight. And then we had some closer pictures of him at a watering hole, and his tongue was out. And I don't know, we did some research, and EHD, supposedly they die within 72 hours, but this went on for a couple of weeks, but you could tell he was just losing more weight as the days went on. And then we got an hour and a half of pictures of him in front of my dad's ground blind, right in front of a watering hole. He just didn't look good. And that was the last pics we had of him. Then about 4 or 5 days went by and never got a pic, and he was showing up every 2 days. And so my older brother and I met at the lease here, and he flew the drone, and sure enough we spotted him. So we called the DNR, Nicholas, and I can take the deer, and I'm meeting him over at the local police station, and I'm getting a salvage tag, and it's just really too bad, but at least he's not suffering anymore. But so opening weekend, we start up here on September 16th. We're gonna have to, I don't know, regroup, get on some different deer, because he was the one we were all gonna go after. There's another nice 10 on this property, but I don't know, we got the rut and everything, so got plenty of time to pick up some more better bucks. But he sure would have been a nice one to go after opening weekend. So I guess stay tuned and we'll see what else happens this year.
Alright guys, as you can see, this week's episode was full of some awesome deer. The hit lists are building, and I think we're going to have some cool storylines coming into this year. But I know these two, we are super excited for this coming weekend. We got youth season here in Iowa opening in 2 days. The practice went well tonight. I think if a deer's within 100 yards, they're gonna be in some trouble. We got doe tags and buck tags, so target-rich environment this weekend, hopefully. And with that being said, I hope next week we can have a good update for you guys on what happened this weekend during youth season. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode, and catch us again next weekend.